Okay, this video is basically extension of the note point number 9, which talks about bisector of the angle between the lines. As we discussed in that video, that the bisector of angle between lines. Okay, to find bisector of the angle between the lines, we use the concept of locus, which says Pm equal to Pn, where we have gone for perpendicular distance formula. Okay, if you just recall this part, we had this bisector on which we had a point P. This was Pm, this was Pn, and we had the equation a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0, and the second equation is a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. Okay, so here we got a shortcut. If you recall, a1x plus b1y plus c1, that is equation of line 1 upon under root of coefficient का square करके add is equal to plus or minus a2x plus b2y plus c2 upon under root of coefficient का square करके add. Okay, so this was the shortcut what we use for finding equation of bisector. Okay, now we are going to discuss three cases here. Case 1. Okay, if in a sum we are going to discuss containing a point, I would rather say bisector containing origin. Now ideally there is a big proof involved in this. Okay, I am not wasting my time in giving you that proof. We simply focus on how to solve this type of sums. Okay, so here what we do in step number 1. In step 1, make sure constant term in the equation is positive, that is c1 comma c2 greater than 0. Now let me take an example here. Okay, let's say I have 3x minus 4y minus 5 equal to 0. Okay, first of all make sure your equation has to be in equal to 0 form. Okay, now if you see the constant term here, it is negative. Now I want this constant term to be positive, so can I say multiply by minus 1. Okay, so we multiply the equation by minus 1, so what I get, minus 3x plus 4y plus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, so that would be your first step. In the second step, you need to just remember one table which says contain origin. Okay, then use plus sign. Does not contain origin, then use negative sign. Now what I'm basically talking of, I'm talking of the sign which we wrote in the formula of the angle bisector. Okay, so in all the cases which I'm going to discuss here in this video are just going to give you the idea when to select plus and when to select minus. Otherwise the formula for bisector will remain same. Okay, so I repeat one more time. The question would be talking about containing or does not contain the origin. In that, step number 1, what you're going to do it is make sure your constant term is positive. Okay, once you select the term to be positive, okay, then okay, you go for step number 2. If you want a bisector which contains origin, you go for plus sign. If you go for does not contain the origin, it will be going for minus sign. Now I just give you a better idea what we are basically talking. You might be wondering what we are finding here. If I draw an actual graph, okay, and here I draw, let's say, two lines. Okay, and I am talking about the bisector of these two lines, let us say capital L1 and capital L2. So as we all know, there are two bisectors, one is this and the other one is this. Okay, so here the dotted lines represent the bisectors. Let us call it as M1 and M2. Now just focus on M1 and M2. If you see the region in which your M1 lies is not, it is this region. Okay, on the other side if you see, it is this region. Now in this region if you see, it contains the origin. So when I am finding the bisector which contains the origin, I am talking about line M1. And if you see line L2, the region of L2 is this and this. In this region, the origin is not included. So when I say find the bisector which does not contains the origin, I am talking about finding the equation of line M2. Okay, so I hope everyone clear with what I mean by contain and does not contain. Okay, so now let me show you with an example here. The question would be like this: find equation of bisector of the angle between lines 3x minus 4y is equal to 1 and 12x minus 5y minus 2 is equal to 0, containing origin. Okay, so they want us to find equation of bisector containing the origin. Okay, so in this question what we basically do here is I start with step number 1. Let's take both the equations. Okay, so we got 3x minus 4y is equal to 1, and the second equation is your 12x minus 5y minus 2 equal to 0. Now very first thing you should take care is your equation must be in equal to 0 form. So can I say it is 3x minus 4y minus 1 equal to 0. Now in this equation it is already is equal to 0 form. Okay, now we want c1 to be greater than 0 and here c2 to be greater than 0. Here in both places your constant terms are negative. So to make it positive we multiply with the negative sign. So plus 4y plus 1 equal to 0, and on this side minus 12x plus y plus 2 equal to 0. Now please remember, while using the shortcut we are going to use this equation to you better highlight this. This is result number 1, result number 2. Okay, so what you did here is you have made sure that the constant terms are positive. Now let's go to step number 2, where we are going to go for shortcut. Since we want bisector which contains origin. Okay, now as I said, contain origin says plus sign. So we use the formula which says take the first equation. I repeat again, do not take the original equation, take the one which we highlighted. Okay, upon under root of coefficient का square करके add. Okay, and now you take the second equation which is minus 12x plus 5y plus 2 upon under root of coefficient का square करके add. After that we are going to select the sign over here. Now since we are talking of bisector which contains the origin, we will be using plus here. Suppose in case in the same sum I am asking you to find the bisector which does not contain the origin. Okay, if does not contain origin, then use minus sign. Okay, so if you can understand, it's a very simple concept. You need to just remember when to use plus sign and when to use minus sign. Okay, now let us simplify this further to get the final answer. So what I get here is minus 3x plus 4y plus 1 upon, can I say 5 here, on this side plus sign minus 12x plus 5y plus 2 upon 13. Okay, so let's cross multiply. 13 3s are minus 39 x plus 52y plus 13 is equal to minus 60x plus 25y plus 10. So if I take 60 on this side, I get 21x, 25 on this side minus 27y sorry, plus 27y, 10 on that side, plus 3 is equal to 0, and we got our desired result. Okay, so I hope it's clear. Your case number 1. Now let's move to case number 2. In case number 2, they will talk about bisector containing a point P, H, K. Okay, again, like previous question, here we are going to use the same formula. It is just that we need to decide when to use plus sign and when to use minus sign. Okay, so in this type of sum we follow 3 steps. Step number 1, make sure constant term in both equation is positive, that is C1 greater than 0 and C2 greater than 0. Okay, then we move to the second step. Okay, where we will make sure, after making the constant term positive, okay, what we are going to do is substitute the point, okay, in the equation of line to get constant. Okay, obviously when I put some values into the equation of line I get constant. Okay, like take an example, let us say the point is 1 comma 2 and the equation of line is 2x minus 3y plus 4 equal to 0. What you do it is take the point and substitute in the equation. So what you get, 2 into 1 minus 3 into 2 plus 4. Okay, here let us write 4 here. So 4, so 4 get cancel, you get minus sign, and this is your negative value. Okay, please understand, we are not interested in the sign value of it, we are just interested in the sign of it, that is whether the answer is positive or negative. Now obviously we'll get two constant. Okay, now those constant can have same sign or those constant can have opposite sign. Okay, so check sign of both constant. Okay, after doing that, in step number 3, what we do is we follow table. Okay, now the sign which you are using would be either same or different. Okay, so sign is same or sign is different. Okay, if the sign is same, okay, okay, so what I was saying was, if the sign is same or different, we wanted to discuss whether the line contains or does not contain. So here we write contain and here does not contain. Okay, so here we follow a small table. Now as I said, we are looking for selection of the sign. So what you should remember is same and contain. If this two combination comes, then you're going to use plus sign. Okay, you need to just remember this particular result. In the other position, you need to just change the sign. So here you will go for negative because plus already been taken. Now, if you see the vertical column, here you have positive, so the next term would be negative. And since here negative, you will be writing plus here. So there is no need to remember the full table, just remember the first box. Okay, so I repeat again one more time the same table. Okay, what we are going to do it is, we are going to do two things. We either get same value of the constant or the opposite value. We want to discuss contain or does not contain. Okay, here we are going to go for positive sign, same and contain. This combination says use plus sign. For this we use minus, for this we use minus, for this we use plus. Okay, and using above table, select appropriate sign for the formula. Okay, so this is the basic way of finding it. Now this will you will get a better idea when we solve a sum on based on this. Okay, so let me take a question on this where we talk about containing a point. Okay, so they say find the equation of bisector of angle between lines x plus 2y minus 11 equal to 0 and 3x minus 6y minus 5 equal to 0, which contains 1 comma minus 3. Okay, so here again they want to find equation of bisector, but this time they want containing the point. Okay, so here as I said we follow 3 steps. So let's start with the step number 1. In step number 1, okay, we take both the equations. So let us take x plus 2y minus 11 equal to 0, and the second equation is 3x minus 6y minus 5 equal to 0. Now to make constant term positive, I multiply with minus 1. Here also we multiply with minus 1. So what I get? Minus x minus 2y plus 11 equal to 0 minus 3x plus 6y, okay, plus 5 is equal to 0. And I repeat again, please highlight this box because we are not going to use the original equation given in the question. Okay, we are going to use this. Okay, so is that clear now? So step 1 is over. Now let's go to step number 2. Now this is very important. Okay, what we do it is consider, okay, minus x minus 2y plus 11, and in this let us substitute the point. The point given as 1 comma minus 3, so in place of x we put 1, in place of y we put minus 3 plus 11. So what I get? Plus 6 11. Okay, I get 15. As I said, I'm not interested in the value, I'm just interested in sign. So the sign is positive. We repeat the same thing for the second equation. Let us take the second equation is minus 3x plus 6y plus 5. Okay, now let's put the value. In place of x we put 1, in place of y we put minus 3 plus 5. So what I get here is minus 3 minus 18 plus 5. What I get here is minus 16, which is a negative sign. Now here if you see, both constant have opposite sign. Okay, so opposite sign. This is my conclusion of step number 2. Now let's go to step number 3. Now what I do here is I redraw the table. Okay, the table was same, opposite, contain, and does not contain. I'm writing in short form. The table here, if you can recall, we use plus sign. Here minus, here plus. Now what we are looking is opposite, isn't it? And the question says contain. So what I do it is I'll highlight contain. Now what I go for is intersection of these two, says go for minus sign. So I'll be using negative sign in the formula. Okay, so here therefore the equation of bisector containing the point 1 comma minus 3 is, okay, let's take the first equation which was minus x minus 2y plus 11 upon अंडर रूट में कोएफिशिएंट का स्क्वायर करके ऐड is equal to, let us take the second equation which was minus 3x plus 6y plus 5 upon under root of minus 3 square plus 6 square. Okay, as I said, the most important part is the selection of plus or minus. So here as decided we'll go for minus sign. And now let us simplify. Okay, if you go and simplify this, minus x minus 2y plus 11 upon root 5 is equal to minus of minus 3x plus 6y plus 5 upon under root of 6 square is 36 and root 3 is 9. 36 and 9 is root 45. Root 45 is 3 root 5. So root 5 get cancelled. Let us cross multiply. I get minus 3x minus 6y plus 33 is equal to plus 3x minus 6y minus 5. 6y get cancelled. Okay, 3x on that side, 9x, 5 on that side plus 38 is equal to 0. In short, the equation is 3x, I'll get minus sign, sorry here, okay, minus 19 is equal to 0, and that is the equation of bisector. Okay, so again it is a very simple concept if you know the table. Okay, let's move on to the final part, that is case number 3. Okay, in case 3, okay, we'll be discussing about acute angle slash obtuse angle bisector. Ideally this is my favorite, okay, for this particular concept. In this also we are going to follow 3 steps. Okay, step number 1, which remains same, make sure C1 and C2 greater than 0. In step number 2, we will find A1x plus, we will find A1 A2 plus B1 B2. Okay, if you recall, A1x plus B1y plus C1 equal to 0 and A2x plus B2y plus C2 is equal to 0. This is A1 A2 plus we are going to find B1 B2. Okay, that what you should be there. So don't say where is A1 and where is A2 and B1 B2. Fine. Now when we find this, what we are looking for is this will give me a constant. Okay, so that value can be either positive or negative. So A1 A2 plus B1 B2 will be either positive or negative. That would be the conclusion of step number 2. Okay, now in step number 3, what we do is we follow a small table. Now this time we write here acute, we write here say positive value, that is A1 A2 plus B1 B2 is positive, or A1 A2 plus B1 B2 is negative. And what we are looking for is acute, obtuse. Okay, so the small table we need to remember. Here in this table, what we do is, again we will remember only one sign. Okay, so when this is positive and when we are talking of acute, the sign here to go for is negative. Okay, now if this is negative, the sign next to it would be positive. If this is negative, the sign below it would be positive. And if this is positive, sign next to it will be negative. Okay, so using above table, we will get, using above table we will get, or I better say we will select the sign. So it is just like a previous concept where we discussed the point containing the point and does not contain. It's just that the table is different. Okay, let me very clear, when I did this for the very first time, for me it was very confusing. Okay, so I would request, once this discussion is over, please write both the tables, that is containing a point and acute obtuse angle bisector, at least 5 to 6 times. Okay, that will give you the real grip on this concept, because it's all about